There are a lot of stages throughout the Sonic franchise, over 1,000 if we really want to get down to it. Now within this large number exist a lot of bad stages, a lot of good stages, but only a few of them reach the cream of the crop. There's only a few that are typically considered as none other than the greatest Sonic zone. So to get this intro over with quickly, me and a few other people you may know are going to be taking a look at what some of our favorite Sonic zones are. Intros are for the week, so we're just going to get straight into the first one. Now Sonic Generations has some of the greatest levels in the franchise, and while I could make my personal picks all about gens, I thought I'd limit myself to just one. And my personal favorite Generation stage is none other than Speed Highway. Now, the original Speed Highway from Adventure 1 is great in its own right, however, this one easily takes the cake in my opinion as the best rendition. First off, everything that's not level design, things like visuals and song, are amazing. The song is rambunctious, energetic, and bombastic like it should be. It's really fitting considering the accompanying visuals, which took a relatively low energy city due to hardware limitations, into one that is absolutely bustling and brimming with life and energy. Incredible. But what about the level design itself? This is peak. Right here. This genuinely could be my favorite Sonic level of all time, and I'll tell you why. The biggest thing the stage has going for it is its largely unmatched flow state. Now, while a methodical, more heavily platforming-oriented flow state does exist in other levels and can feel just as rewarding, this is what I consider to be the peak of the more typically known don't stop just go flow state. A good run of this stage will have you stopping a grand total of 0 times. You just go and go and go. You will rarely, if ever, lose speed if you simply play your cards right. However, a good run isn't just given to you, you need to earn it. Mastering the stage layout and memorizing every little nook and cranny will be required if you really want to get a perfect run. There's also some more risk and reward oriented skips that are extremely worth it, such as this large leap of faith over a dash ramp into a lower floor of a building, which is fucking just... God, I love it. Now, the thing is, even on a weak run where you take lower paths, the stage doesn't slack either. The stage is fun wherever you are. The platforming-oriented bottom paths? Yeah, guess what? They still fuck. Speed Highway is an amazing stage, and personally one of my favorite Sonic stages ever. However, there's still stages I love nearly as, if not as much, as Speed Highway. Before I talk about them though, notice not a sponsor, why don't I shine the spotlight on someone else so they can talk about their favorite stage? If you enjoy so far, be sure to subscribe. But anyways, you're up, Z-Man.
City Escape is one of the most iconic Sonic levels for a reason. It's because it's so good. One, you've got one of the best tracks in the whole series, Escape from the City, playing during the stage. One of the few stage tracks that actually have vocals, and it's just such a banger that it makes the stage even more memorable. Secondly, what an entrance! You don't just start on the ground, you are falling from the helicopter from the first cutscene. Then you're snowcopter boarding down the streets of not technically San Francisco, throwing off sparks, doing sweet tricks, causing thousands of dollars of property damage, until finally flying into the main part of the stage. And the rest of the level has super iconic moments too, such as the loop-de-loop down into a building, and of course who can forget running away from that giant gun truck. City Escape throws so much at you, but in such a nice introductory way, making it very easy to start learning Sonic's controls if it's your first time playing, but also having things here and there that you can come back to later on with your upgrades. This level has such a great flow and feeling to it, and it is just so satisfying to play. I've found myself replaying it over and over and over again until I realized I've played it like 10 times and haven't gotten bored. Now, having said all that, something that I can't really explain is just how this level feels like Sonic. The definitive way Sonic should feel to me. And I'm not talking about the gameplay itself, I'm just talking about the feeling you get while playing it. It's such a hard feeling to explain, but it's a big part of why this level is my favorite one in the whole series.
Thanks for that, Z-Man. Now, another one of my favorite stages is definitely going to be controversial considering both the game it's from and the fact that you rarely see anyone give praise to a level in this game, and even less so this specific level. But another one of my favorites is Collision Chaos. This is my favorite stage from CD, and one of my favorites from the whole franchise for a couple of reasons. Now, I've gone on long CD-focused rants a couple of times now, so I'll make this one a little shorter. CD stages have an emphasis on exploration and player expression. Your creativity will show results as it can lead to a better time, efficient takedowns of the robot generators and Metal Sonic projectors, and a bunch of other things. CD really shines when player expression is at its peak, and Collision Chaos just so happens to be the peak of the aforementioned player expression. There are an unfathomable amount of ways to tackle this stage, each of them different enough and refreshing to offer a varying experience each time. There's ways you can easily explore a stage top to bottom by taking certain routes, and there's equally as many ways to create routes that focus on simply going fast. Another thing I like about the stage actually is the bumpers. People talk shit about them usually because they misunderstand them, but I'm here today to tell you why they actually kick ass for one simple reason. If you approach them with with intent and not the brainpower of a grape, you can pretty easily and swiftly use them as platforms, using them to your advantage instead of getting your ass kicked by them. It asks a little more of you to pull this off, so when you do, it feels really great. Also, God, the music and visuals. I could gush about this stage for so much longer. However, let me pass the mic to someone else. Take it away, SF.
Sonic Unleashed has some of the best gameplay in the entire Sonic franchise, if you ask me. Well, of course I'm talking about the daytime stages. Yeah, fuck the werehog. And out of every level in that game, Jungle Joyride Day Act 1 stands out as not only my favorite level in Sonic Unleashed, but also as my favorite level in the entire series. It checks all of the boxes for what I think makes up the perfect boost level. The act starts with a reaction time check involving the quick step. You have to carefully boost through this long boardwalk area, while switching lanes and dodging enemies and other obstacles. It's a great start to the level, as it gets you right into the action immediately. Then you get into the jungle, and may God help you if you play this game on PS3. Yeah, so despite the graphics of Unleashed being way ahead of its time, that also results in levels like this running like a fucking Google Slides presentation. It's borderline unplayable at times, but thankfully nowadays we have Unleashed recompiled to get that smooth, unlocked frame rate, and it's a dream. Anyway, after that we get to the first water running section. This is one of the defining features of the level, and it's also where you will find just how open this level can be. You see, the thing with water in Unleashed is that you cannot slow down without dying, meaning that you really gotta lock in to dodge the falling pillars trying to end your life. It's great. Even the 2D sections in this level are pretty fun. These sections include some of the only times when you want to slow down. There are several obstacles placed in just the right spot, so if you're just trying to speed through the sections, you will likely get hit. And to cap the whole thing off, there's this fairly vertical section right next to the large waterfall, and it's about as epic as it looks. Outside of the level design, the scenery is great. It's kind of unheard of for a beach level to be one of the final levels in a game, but I think the combination of the challenging obstacles along with the calming, more positive scenery gives the entire package such a unique vibe. The OST also emits a sense of urgency, encouraging the player to keep up the pace. Like I already said, it checks every damn box. The only downside is that it runs like dog shit on any console the game was released for, and that's a damn shame because you can see how much effort they put into this level, but you were never able to appreciate it because you were trying not to vomit from motion sickness. But yeah, Jungle Joyride, it's pretty great.
I think it's funny that SF threw us straight at the werehog at the beginning because our next guest, Nokai, actually is going to be talking about one of the werehog levels. Let's see what he's got to say.
I want you to close your eyes and picture this. It's Christmas break. You're home for the holidays. No school, no responsibilities. You just had a fat helping of warm cinnamon rolls for breakfast and washed it down with a rich glass of chocolate milk. And now, the couch is yours for the day. What do? Grind Sonic Unleashed, duh. Back when I was a kid, that was me. Christmas was around the corner, and despite the vast coat of snow available outside, I enjoyed the cool climate of Holoska. I know, it's winter outside, and of all options, you chose the country covered in snow. But I don't know, man, Christmas just has that vibe about it. Now, with Holoska, there's obviously two main levels to focus on, day and night. Both are amazing levels and have incredible aspects. But honestly, I like Holoska Night more these days. Yeah, I know, I'm a freak. I've become very interested in the speedrunning aspects of this game, and as a result, I've begun to really enjoy the options the werehog has to offer. I know it's not for everybody, but summarized quickly, here's my reasoning. The level starts off with a very dumb little puzzle that, I'll be real, is more annoying than anything. Normally it'll spawn a horde of enemies to mow down, but I'll let you in on a secret. If you jump on the barrel next to the checkpoint, not only do the enemies not spawn, but you get to complete the puzzle in a matter of seconds. Or here, some of my personal favorites. Do you hate walls? Yeah, me too. What if we just don't use them? There are so many cool little skips you can do in this game that, at the end of the day, are just moves you can use anywhere in the level. They aren't even glitches, technically. Sure, they might require practice, but think about it. If those moves can be used like this here, think of all the other applications available. The werehog, while it has its flaws, has a ton of fun movement options, and Holoska Night is a prime example. Even things like the combat, the werehog's most common complaint, can be minimized. It's awesome. And gameplay aside, it's just a cool aesthetic. That wasn't meant to be a joke, but consider yourself entertained. Winter is a magical time, at least for me, and Holoska shows that wonderfully. Towers of ice, random snowmen, the northern lights, deep flowing oceans, it's just really pretty. I'm a sucker for the snow, what can I say? Anyway, those are the reasons Holoska Night is quite possibly my favorite Sonic level. I don't know how to end this, maybe I'll explode or something.
Now, another stage I love to death is one that a lot of people sleep on. I'm talking about Red Mountain from Sonic Adventure 1. Now, I love this stage for a lot of reasons. The locale is amazing, first off. We start off on this really grand-ass mountain with the music accompanying us being just as grand. Eventually, we go inside the mountain and it suddenly transforms into a lava stage with a song change that fucks hard. Seriously, I want more songs like this in the franchise. I'm serious. Give me more of the hip-hop rock blend. I love it. However, I think the best part of this stage, funny enough, stems from a flaw I think it has. Now, this honestly goes for Adventure 1 as a whole, but it may be the most evident here, bear with me. SA1 actually has an overabundance of automation and bland, drawn-out homing chains. People give shit to the modern games for this, but the homing chain problem actually started here, and it's very prevalent. However, the reason you don't hear a lot of people mention that as a negative is because, number one, people are ignorant, but number two, unlike a lot of boost games, these drawn-out sequences of automation and homing chains can actually be skipped a large amount of times. Not only this, they're extremely fun to do, and on top of this, balanced. You aren't skipping most of the stage, you're just skipping a lot of individual sections of homing chains and automation. This is the biggest strength Red Mountain has. You see, this stage has a lot of homing chains that act as sort of guardrails. If you're too scared to make these little jumps, you can just use the homing chains. The thing is, once you take the training wheels off, this stage completely transforms. It now becomes one of the most platformer-oriented stages in the entire franchise, and you now actually make jumps from platform to platform using unintended methods, and it feels euphoric. And this sentiment goes for, like, the entire stage. The whole stage is like this. Now, even without outright skipping the homing chains, this stage's platforming is just fun, a little simple but solid with a good skill ceiling. Red Mountain is amazing and an absolutely slept on stage. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the man with the most soothing voice, like, God, come on, I can't wait for you to listen to this, Timsy.
Yo, what's good? Temsy here. And when it comes to the topic of my favorite Sonic stage, there are so many fire choices that it's literally hard to pick. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably go with Missouri from the greatest Sonic game of all time, aka Sonic Unleashed. That level has you zooming through the savannah, drifting around the corners, scaling up the gigantic castle walls, past all the local wildlife, the zebras, the giraffes. You get to speed through some villages, and to top it all off, you scale this gigantic tree. There's just so much variety here, and a story is told as you traverse through the levels, and it goes for a lot of Sonic Unleashes stages. But with this one in particular, the music is a vibe. And you can really tell that Sonic Team did their homework when it comes to the local African culture and architecture. W stage for real.
This guy needs to fucking narrate an audiobook, Jesus Christ. Dude, I could listen to that for hours, actually. Now, I want to thank you guys for watching the whole video first off, but I also really want to thank everyone that decided to hop on this video and discuss their personal favorite tracks. A deep thank you to Z-Man, SF Productions, Nokai, and Timsy. Y'all did an amazing job. Seriously, I really appreciate you guys for doing this. With that being said, if y'all enjoyed, I'd appreciate if you could subscribe, as I'm trying to hit 7,000 subscribers before the year ends. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.